Welcome back to Everyday Evolution, and today we are going to be looking at how Nike shoes have evolved since 1972. Phil Knight and Bill Bowerman founded Blue Ribbon in Portland, Oregon. Later on they would change the name to Nike, which translates to the winged goddess of victory in Greek mythology. Phil Knight came up with the idea for Nike while writing a college paper at Stanford. His idea was to import high-quality, low-cost running shoes from Japan into the American market. Bill Bowerman creates the Waffle sole by pouring rubber into his waffle iron. This innovation will forever change running shoes. 1971 is when Phil Knight and Bill Bowerman chose to change the name from Blue Ribbon Sports to Nike. The Nike swoosh was designed by Carolyn Davidson at Portland University for only $35. Crazy to think how a $35 logo would become one of the most valuable trademarks in the world. The Waffle Racer was released, nicknamed the Moon Shoe. It was the first Nike shoe that had the swoosh on it. The first pairs were handed out to athletes that were participating in the Olympic trials. Along with the Waffle races, Nike released the Nike Cortezes. They were the first shoes to feature foam cushioning. Nike launches its first basketball shoe in 1973 called the Nike Blazers. They were worn by George Gervin, who was known as the Iceman. In 1974, Nike released the Waffle Racer using the sole that Bill Bowerman had originally created. It turns out to be very popular and quickly becomes the best-selling sneakers on the market. In 1978, Nike released another historic shoe, the Tailwind. It is the first running shoe to have air pockets on its outside. In 1982, the Air Force One was released and was the first shoe to use air in its sole. It was first intended to be a basketball shoe, but nowadays they are just used as everyday shoes. 1984 is when Nike released the first Jordan. This will go on to be one of the most popular shoes of all time. 1 year later, Nike released the Nike Dunks. You can get them in different colorways, different materials, and in low, mid, or high-top versions. Nike releases the Air Trainer 1, a sneaker that can be worn for many different activities rather than just one sport. It becomes popular for tennis players, and this pushes Nike into the tennis market. In 1987, Nike released the Air Max 1. It was the first shoe with a visible air pocket. With many different versions to be released throughout the years, the Air Maxes become some of the most popular shoes. In 1988, Nike released their first campaign featuring their iconic slogan, "Just Do It." This iconic slogan was inspired by serial killer Gary Gilmore's last words, "Let's do it," before he was executed in 1977. In 1990, Nike opened its first retail store in downtown Portland, Oregon. In the same year, Nike released the Air Max 90. It was designed by one of Nike's most famous designers, Tinker Hatfield. Nike releases the Air Huaracha. At first it is very popular with runners, but then quickly switched into mainstream casual wear. In 1995, Nike released the Air Max 95 with a design deemed to be revolutionary at the time. 1996 was the year that Tiger Woods signed a sponsorship deal with Nike. Tiger Woods and Nike released a signature golf clothing and footwear line. 1997 was another huge year for the sneaker industry as Nike released the iconic Air Max 97 in the original silver bullet colorway. Niketown opens in London's Oxford Street in 1999. This store will become the largest Nike store in the world. In 1999, Nike also released Nike ID. It lets buyers have the choice to customize either the Air Turbulence running shoe or the Air Famished cross trainer. In the year 2000, after 16 years of research and development, Nike releases Shox shoe technology. The Shox shoe technology used small rubber columns to act like springs to return energy to the runner. Nike starts Nike SB to get them into the emerging skateboarding shoe and clothing market. In 2003, Nike buys Converse for $309 million. Nike introduces free technology in 2004. It was inspired by athletes who would train barefoot. The intentions were to use highly flexible materials to strengthen the foot. Nike releases a new foam midsole called Lunarlon. It was designed to be lightweight, offer better stability, and absorb impact to return to runners. In 2012, Nike launched Flyknit technology. It uses light, high-strength fibers knitted together to create a shoe. Along with Flyknit technology, Nike also released the Rocher Run. They used to be very popular but have fallen off in recent years. Nike releases the iconic and very expensive Air Mag. The shoe was first seen in the movie Back to the Future 2 in 1989. Nike reveals the first self-tightening shoe, the HyperAdapt 1. It uses sensors and an adaptive lacing system to ensure a perfect fit. In 2019, Nike releases the Nike Air Max 720. It has the tallest airbag out of any Air Max in history. That will be it for today's video. We really hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, leave your video ideas down below. Make sure to like, subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next one.